Everything you thought you knew about loyalty in WWE just went up in flames. The man who's supposed to keep order, the man who's supposed to be neutral, the man who promised us fairness week after week. Adam Pearce just crossed a line so devastating, so calculated, that the entire wrestling world is still picking its jaw up off the floor. And tonight, we're diving deep into the wreckage of what he's done, the carnage he's left behind, and the nuclear fallout that's about to reshape everything we know about Monday Night Raw. If you're new to SLAMZONE, welcome to the most intense wrestling breakdowns on this platform. And if you've been riding with us, you already know what time it is. But before we get into this absolute chaos, I need something from you. Because what we're about to uncover together, what we're about to expose, deserves to be seen by every single wrestling fan on this planet. So do me a favor, hit that subscribe button right now. Smash that notification bell. Because when stories like this break, when the wrestling world gets turned upside down, you need to be here first. You need to be part of this family. And trust me, by the end of this video, you're going to want to share this with every wrestling fan you know. Now let's get into it. Adam Pearce. For years, that name meant something. It meant fairness. It meant order. The general manager of Raw, the guy who's supposed to keep the playing field level, the authority figure who looked us in the eyes and promised he'd never play favorites. How many times did we see him step between feuding superstars? How many times did he calm the storm when things got out of control? We trusted him. The roster trusted him. But on this night, everything we believed about Adam Pearce shattered into a million pieces. The Vision. Chad Gable's masterpiece. A faction built on technical excellence, on discipline, on the belief that hard work and precision could overcome anything. Chad Gable didn't just create a group, he created a movement. He took young, hungry talent and molded them into something special. Otis, the powerhouse with the heart of a champion. Akira Tozawa, the high-flying technician who defied gravity. Maxine Dupri, the fierce competitor who proved she belonged in any ring with anybody. And the Creed brothers, Julius and Brutus, two of the most devastating athletes in all of professional wrestling. Together, they weren't just a faction. They were a family. They were the future. And Adam Pearce destroyed them. You can feel the rage radiating from Chad Gable as he stands in that ring, microphone trembling in his hand. The crowd is electric, buzzing with anticipation, because everyone knows something is about to explode. Gable's eyes are bloodshot. You can see he hasn't slept. You can see the betrayal eating him alive from the inside out. His voice cracks as he begins to speak, and you realize this isn't just anger, this is heartbreak. This is a man who put everything into building something beautiful, only to watch the one person who should have protected it light the match and burn it all down. Adam Pearce. Gable's voice echoes through the arena, and the crowd goes silent. You looked me in the eye. You shook my hand. You told me that the Vision would get every opportunity we earned. You promised me fairness. You promised me. The emotion is pouring out of him now. Gable paces back and forth, running his hand through his hair, trying to hold it together. But you can see he's breaking. Behind him, the members of the Vision stand united, their faces etched with the same pain, the same fury. Otis looks like he's ready to tear the building apart. The Creed brothers are stone-faced, but you can see their jaws clenching, their fists balled up so tight their knuckles are white. Maxine has tears in her eyes. This isn't just business to them. This was their dream, and Adam Pearce sabotaged it. The footage rolls. We see it again. The moment that changed everything. The Vision had earned their shot. They'd torn through the competition. They'd proven themselves week after week, match after match. They had the tag team titles in their sights. They had championship opportunities lined up. The future was bright. And then, in one swift, calculated move, Adam Pearce pulled the rug out from under them. A match announcement that made no sense. A stipulation that was clearly designed to break them. A decision that favored their rivals in ways that couldn't be explained by anything other than intentional sabotage. And when Chad Gable confronted Pearce backstage, demanding answers, demanding the fairness he'd been promised, Pearce looked him dead in the eye and shrugged. No explanation. No apology. Just cold, calculated indifference. That's when everything fell apart. The Vision started losing opportunities. Matches that should have been theirs went to other teams. Title shots evaporated. The momentum they'd built for months disappeared overnight. And through it all, Adam Pearce sat in his office, making decisions that systematically dismantled everything Chad Gable had worked so hard to create. This wasn't incompetence. This was intentional. This was personal. Back in the ring, Gable's voice rises. You didn't just take opportunities from me, Adam. You didn't just cost me matches. You destroyed the dreams of every single person standing behind me. These people trusted you. These people believed in the system. And you showed them that none of it matters when Adam Pearce decides he wants to play God. The crowd is on their feet now, hanging on every word. Some are chanting Gable's name. Others are chanting for Pearce to come out and face the consequences. The energy in that arena is absolutely volcanic, ready to erupt at any second. This is what wrestling is all about. Real emotion, real stakes, real consequences. And speaking of consequences, if you're feeling this as much as I am right now, if this story is grabbing you by the throat and not letting go, show some love. Hit that like button. Drop a comment telling me what you think Adam Pearce's real motive is, because we're about to dig even deeper, and you're going to want to be part of this conversation when this whole thing explodes. The question everyone's asking is simple: why? Why would Adam Pearce, a man who's built his entire reputation on fairness and order, suddenly decide to destroy the Vision? What did Chad Gable do to deserve this? What could possibly motivate someone in Pearce's position to abuse their power so blatantly? Some people think it's jealousy. Chad Gable was everything Adam Pearce never quite achieved as a wrestler. Gable is a world-class technical wrestler, an Olympian, a man who earned every single accolade through pure skill and determination. Pearce had a solid career, sure, but he never reached those heights. Maybe seeing Gable succeed, seeing him build something so powerful, awakened something dark inside Pearce. Maybe he couldn't stand watching someone else achieve the greatness that eluded him. Others believe it's about control. The Vision wasn't just talented, they were independent. They didn't need Pearce's approval. They didn't kiss the ring. They didn't play politics. They earned everything through performance, and that made them dangerous to someone like Pearce who thrives on power dynamics. Maybe the Vision represented a threat to his authority, and he decided to crush them before they became too powerful to stop. But here's where it gets really interesting. There's a third theory, and it's the darkest one of all. What if Adam Pearce didn't act alone? What if someone higher up the food chain wanted the Vision gone, and Pearce was just the weapon they used to make it happen? What if there's a conspiracy at the highest levels of WWE to prevent Chad Gable and his faction from reaching the top? Think about it. The timing of every sabotage, the precision of every decision that hurt them, the way opportunities dried up the moment they started gaining real momentum. This doesn't feel random. This feels orchestrated. And if Adam Pearce is just a pawn in a larger game, then the Vision's problems are far bigger than one corrupt general manager. Chad Gable seems to sense this too. As he continues his verbal assault, he starts asking dangerous questions. Who got to you, Adam? Who's pulling your strings? Because I know you're not smart enough to orchestrate all of this yourself. Someone wanted us gone, and you were weak enough to do their dirty work. The accusation hangs in the air like a guillotine blade. The crowd roars their approval. They want answers. They demand answers. And the longer Adam Pearce stays silent, the more guilty he looks. Finally, after what feels like an eternity, the Titantron flickers to life. And there he is. Adam Pearce. Not in the arena. Not face to face with the people he's wronged. No, he's safely tucked away in his office, surrounded by security, protected from the consequences of his actions. Classic coward behavior. But here's what makes this moment so gripping: Pearce isn't denying anything. He's not apologizing. He's not offering explanations. Instead, there's this smug look on his face, the satisfied smirk that makes your blood boil. He knows exactly what he did. And he's proud of it. Chad, Pearce begins, his voice dripping with condescension. You want to talk about fairness? You want to talk about promises? Let me tell you something about the real world. In this business, you don't get what you deserve. You get what you can take. And the Vision? You couldn't take anything. You're soft. You're weak. And you needed to learn that lesson. The arena explodes in boos. The disrespect. The arrogance. The absolute contempt in Pearce's voice is staggering. But he's not done. I didn't sabotage the Vision. I exposed the Vision. I showed everyone what I already knew, that when the pressure is real, when the stakes are high, you crumble. You all crumble. And frankly, I did this roster a favor by stopping you before you embarrassed yourselves on a bigger stage. Chad Gable is shaking with rage. The members of the Vision look ready to storm Pearce's office and tear the door off its hinges. But Pearce just keeps talking, keeps twisting the knife. So you want to blame me for your failures? Go ahead. But we both know the truth. You weren't good enough. You were never good enough. And no amount of technical wrestling or teamwork or Olympic medals was going to change that fundamental fact. This is brutal. This is personal. And this is exactly the kind of villain work that makes wrestling compelling. Adam Pearce isn't just a corrupt authority figure, he's a man who genuinely believes he's right. He's convinced himself that destroying the Vision was justified, even necessary. And that makes him so much more dangerous than a simple heel boss. Before we continue with what happens next, and trust me it gets even more intense, I need you to do something for me. If you're invested in this story, if you want to see where this goes, if you want to be here when Adam Pearce finally gets what's coming to him, subscribe to SLAMZONE right now. Hit that bell. Become part of this family. Because we're building something special here, just like the Vision tried to build something special. And unlike Adam Pearce, I promise you I'll never let you down. Now let's see how this ends. The confrontation reaches its boiling point. Chad Gable makes a demand, a match. 1-on-1. Gable vs. Pearce. No authority. No power plays. Just two men settling this like wrestlers should. The crowd absolutely loses their minds at the suggestion. They want to see it. They need to see it. But Pearce just laughs. I'm not a wrestler anymore, Chad. I'm your boss. And bosses don't wrestle employees. They fire them. The threat hangs there. Is Pearce really going to fire the Vision? Does he have that kind of power? The uncertainty is killing everyone watching. But then, something unexpected happens. The Creed brothers step forward. Julius grabs the microphone from Gable. You want to destroy us? Fine. But you're going to have to do it to our faces. We're not going anywhere. Fire us, suspend us, do whatever you want. But we're not backing down. The unity. The defiance. This is what makes the Vision so special. They're not just a faction, they're brothers in arms who refuse to be broken. And in this moment, facing impossible odds, facing corruption at the highest level, they stand together. It's beautiful. It's inspiring. And it makes you believe that maybe, just maybe, they can overcome this. Adam Pearce's expression changes. For just a second, you see something flicker across his face. Is it respect? Fear? Uncertainty? Whatever it is, it passes quickly, replaced by that same smug arrogance. We'll see how long that courage lasts, he says, and the screen goes dark. The implications are staggering. This isn't over. This is just beginning. The Vision has drawn a line in the sand, and Adam Pearce has accepted the challenge. What happens next could reshape the entire landscape of Monday Night Raw. Will the Vision get their revenge? Will Pearce find new ways to sabotage them? And most importantly, who else is involved in this conspiracy? These are the questions that will keep you coming back. These are the stories that make wrestling more than just choreographed fights. This is drama. This is emotion. This is everything we love about this business distilled into one perfect angle. So here's what I need from you. Subscribe to SLAMZONE if you haven't already. Smash that like button if this breakdown gave you everything you needed. Share this video with your wrestling family because they need to see this. And drop a comment telling me Team Vision or Team Pearce? Where do you stand? Because this story is far from over, and when the next chapter drops, you're going to want to be right here with us, breaking it down, analyzing every move, and witnessing history together. Adam Pearce broke his silence, and in doing so, he declared war. The Vision is ready to fight. And we're going to be here for every single second of it. This is SLAMZONE, where legends are made and stories are told. I'll see you in the next one.